cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's time again, you cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in too. It's the #1 podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. You're tuned in to our Black Friday episode. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by K Money, Flag, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, fellas, today's show is Blaxploitation. So I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, so I'm going to spell that because I know that we actually go in and we say black exploitation. So Blaxploitation, Blaxploitation, Blaxploitation. So I think about all the movies in the 70s, man. The Mac and Superfly and Dolomite and Truck Turner. Y'all remember those movies?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Petey Wheatstraw.
Yeah.
And I think about all of those actors and the roles that they had to portray in order to be seen, you know, and how far we've come today. So I want to go back and give those people some love because oftentimes we look at the actors today, the Denzels, the Jamie Foxxes,
Right.
and all of the other actors and actresses that are doing good today, but we rarely go back to give the flowers to the actors and actresses who've paved the way. So can y'all think of an actor or actress who've paved the way for us today?
I can think of one off the top of my head, and y'all might think I'm probably crazy for saying this because it's kind of it's a small pave to something bigger. Back in the day, if you look at shows like Fred Sanford, what's the name of the show? Sanford's Son, right? Yeah. You look at he was a poor, right? He's a poor father. You look at Good Times. That was another poor father. However, if you look at the same time period and you look at Sherman Hemsley on The Jeffersons, that was probably the first rich black person back in that time period that played a rich black father.
Positive role.
Positive role, yeah. I don't know I can't think of any in that time period any other black rich fathers within that time period other than, I mean, that's way in the 90s. That's with us, though.
It wasn't that many that had a black head of household
and that's
back then anyway.
Exactly. So for him to play that part, to be the first, and to me, because I can't, even if I'm a movie man, I can name movies back from day, 1967, 1953, because I like those. You know, I ain't gonna say that on the radio. I might lose points that I like Gone with the Wind, but those old movies back in the day, I like all those kind of movies. But he's the only person I think of that played someone with money, and it was legal money. Yeah. With a great job. So that was, I got to give him hands off. But a lot of people forget about that because I can't think of anybody else.
Now, I got two, and I want to mention that he said pave the way. So when I think of paving the way, I think of Sidney Poitier.
Yes.
Harry Belafonte. Mm-hmm. See, these were people that paved the way for the people he's speaking on, saying Denzel Washington and Samuel Jackson. Right. Well, had it not been for Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte, because they were the two black, from back in that started way back. And first ones, Sammy Davis and stuff like that, So those are really the forefathers of black actors or black entertainment, And I might be missing some because I'm sure before then there were actors or entertainers may not have been filmed on TV, but we know how they used to do certain stuff like blackface.
Right.
Blackface, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Right.
So when it get to that level as far as blackface and the role that we had to play to get there, but this started it off. We had to play that role to get there.
Yep.
So that tells me is no telling what some of these actors will play or what role they'll play to get there.
Yeah,
you know.
And one actor, I want to, you know, although he's kind of tainted a little bit, but you can't take nothing away from this guy, man. You mentioned Sidney Poitier, but I want to mention Bill Cosby.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Cosby
Him too.
had some great, like some of my
Oh, yeah.
favorite movies, Uptown Saturday
Yeah.
Night,
Right.
and Let's Do It Again,
Let's Do It Again,
and A
yeah.
Piece of the Action.
Oh, the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
classic.
with Sidney Poitier, they
Yeah.
were great
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
And so, yeah.
Oh man, let me touch on Bill, man, while I'm over there. You know, I'm a comedian. Another thing I gotta give Bill props for, man. If you think about his shows, 80% of his shows, you are going to learn something. It was, and you don't have shows like that no more. Like I remember from when Rudy found the birds, we learned about animals. I remember the tap dance class. We learned about tap dance. We learned about all kinds of dance. We learned about Black history. We learned about paintings. You remember when Rudy was bragging on a little painting? Well, she wasn't really bragging. She was just telling somebody how much the painting was and what kind of art it was. But the person that she told to, went back to school talking about it, such and such, whatever. But you learn about paintings, art, music, dance, all kinds of dance. Babies, when the lady got pregnant, it was a learning show and it was funny at the same time. No one has been able to have something positive, learning, and laughter since Bill Cosby. Can y'all think of one?
Martin.
No, learning. What did you learn off Martin?
That nigga was crazy.
Did you learn tap dance, arts, music? The only thing I think he had one show about AIDS. Yeah. That's it. Bill was smart with his. He made you laugh at the same time learn.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Well,
the way, and that's why they
the
cancel him,
world
because
was
he's too
different.
positive.
Then,
he's too positive.
In those days,
Yeah.
it was different, you know. So the thought pattern was different. But
Right.
I think as the world evolved, things changed in the world, which can change a pathway, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference between Martin and Bill Cosby, because Martin did have a good show. It wasn't nothing raunchy about his show.
Yeah, it wasn't raunchy. It was
you know
funny.
what I'm saying?
It
It was comical, which was good, but it wasn't no downplay on the black community or none of that.
Right.
So I look at those two as the same type. Not to say that, you know, Martin was better than Bill, but
Yes.
he had a good
He was
show.
ahead of his game.
Yeah,
though.
you
Martin
know.
was ahead of his game.
Yeah, he was.
Two actors that I enjoy watching, man. Billy D and James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
I don't know if you guys remember this movie called Bingo Long and the
Yes,
Traveling
indeed.
All Stars.
Yes, Motor King.
One of my favorite movies,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Kick that mute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Parade.
Yeah.
How old is me? I need to go watch that. I've been
Man,
watching
that's
too
one
much.
of my favorite movies, bro.
man.
I've been
Rainbow.
watching too much Woody Woodpecker. Shit. I need to-
And Richard Pryor was
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Oh,
was
he
in
showed
there.
Uniform
Richard
down
Pryor
there like the
played in a lot
Astros.
of
That's why you bullshit.
Yeah. That's
Richard Pryor was played in a lot of movies. I was like, man,
Yeah,
he
Richard
played
Pryor
this
been in
too?
it, man.
Here's somebody.
Yeah.
Pam Grier.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pam Grier.
you know,
Coffee.
she was the black sex symbol back in the day.
Yeah.
Everybody loves some Pam Grier.
Pam Grier was it.
Pam Grier.
Yeah.
To this day.
Pam Grier.
Oh, Thelma, shit, till this day. We love you.
Yeah, man, I enjoy those classics.
Yeah.
So what about the roles that we were playing back then?
I'm
Like
glad-
the pimps,
Right.
The hustlers.
That was pretty much all we played.
That-
Those were all the roles that were pretty much given back then to
Right, I mean-
either a pimp or a
Because if you fast forward now, most of the black movies are gangster.
Well, Rudy Ray
Business
Moore was
Society.
gangster. We
Yeah.
can't forget about him. He was gangster. He was karate
Yeah,
pimp.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Back,
You
back
know?
then, yeah.
P.D.B. Strong.
So back then, even back in the 70s, it was about the pimps. You know,
that was the day and age.
That was the day and age.
Yeah.
Now it's just gangster dudes on the street, which is your minister societies, your boys in the hood. It's some movies where somebody's getting shot up and killed. That's this day and time. So now those movies have shifted to what we do now. So,
what about? Do y'all recall the movie Coolie High?
Yeah, I heard that was the coldest one.
I'm gonna watch that when I get out
classic.
here. I'm gonna watch that. I can't wait.
That was the coldest one.
That was the coldest one.
Coolie
High.
Classic.
Yeah. I'll watch it any day.
Yes, sir.
You know,
That's another
if I catch it, if I see it, I'm stopping.
Everybody look at my head. At 5, I know y'all know what I'm finna sing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's so hard
to say goodbye
to yesterday.
Yeah, everybody know that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that movie was nice, man. I because it took place with them being in high school, I think it was kind of really.
It was a feel good.
Well, what you was trying to do was compare yourself to this movie.
Yeah.
At that time of being in high school, it was pretty much the same way. They were skipping school.
Yeah.
Going to drink, having house parties. Wasn't supposed to be in them people's house. We
honest.
did a lot of that.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was to be one of the characters out of the movie, I'm gonna be a G about it. I would be Pooter. I would be the one with the doo-doo on my chest. I wasn't getting no ass. I didn't until I got my eye fixed, and bitch, it was on.
It was a good movie, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
So, like, with those roles, can y'all name a role where the black got to stick it to the man? Like, a lot of those roles, like when you think about Dolomite movies, he always get an opportunity to stick it to the man.
Yeah, every time.
The closest I would say is Trading Places, but that was shared with another white guy. So,
yeah. And
so it was a partial
that was
stick.
the 80s, too.
Yeah, it was a partial stick. Okay, let me see.
Are you speaking modern day or back in back in the day?
Can you recall a movie to where, because that's what they used to say back then.
Yeah,
we
stick it
to the man, yeah.
You jive time turkey. Oh, they do say jive time turkey, though.
back then, yeah.
I can't think of who would stick it to the man.
Who was sticking to the man? The only person that was stuck it to the man was Dolomite, right? Because nobody ever did.
You had.
Sherman. He did. He slammed the door on everybody. It didn't matter.
I do recall. I recall. Go ahead, Freddie G. I'll let you.
No, you go ahead.
It's a movie Richard Pryor played in. I want to say it was Bust Loose. He played with Cicely Tyson.
Sorry, the animal got out.
Yeah.
God damn, animal.
You hit a nerve when you said
It's a movie with Cicely Tyson where they were
loose when they were going to the
right. Well, it was a scene with the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah,
I thought that was like a slug, on the Ku Klux Klan. How when the bus was stranded and the mud ended up. He had the Ku Klux Klan helping him get out the mud. Yeah, I think that was one up.
that was one. Yeah.
Stick it to the man. Stick it to it.
And when you think about those Jim Brown, Jim Kelly, I remember Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Oh yeah. But he had like a period. It stopped after.
Well, they had a movie called 3 the Hard Way.
Yeah.
Jim Brown.
Another classic.
Jim Kelly. And I think Richard Roundtree.
Richard Roundtree.
Think about Shaft.
Yep.
Richard Roundtree.
Isaac Hayes even had one, Truck Turner.
Isaac Hayes.
But you know what? Another female. Another female that we probably forgetting about is, and I don't know if it's quite 80s or 70s. I think it was though. The girl from Facts of Life, Kim Fields. Was she in the 70s also?
Yeah, she started back early 80s.
But she was a
a
kid.
little girl.
She was a kid.
She's been acting for a long time, and she's still acting.
I mean,
But she was a kid.
She
She was a
wasn't no sex
kid.
symbol
though.
back
She was
then.
no sex symbol.
I ain't. We talking about sex symbol.
Well, you had mentioned you
I
mentioned Pam Grier.
I mentioned Pam Grier as sex.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
do y'all remember Pam Grier?
Well, we was see this. Okay, at that point when we were talking, we were all trying to do some things with her. I thought we was talking about careers now. I was thinking we was talking about
the longevity.
The longevity.
Well, I want to just say I wasn't thinking of doing no things with nobody.
Oh, I was. Okay, I was.
Myself in that.
I mean, you ain't got. You can be by yourself.
Yeah,
I'll be by myself. I was.
Yeah.
And everybody else's eyes on this set was when we said Pam Grier, ma'am. Everybody's eyes were big.
Y'all remember?
I agree
y'all
that
remember
Pam Grier was it.
The movie? Well, there was I guess you can call it a trilogy or whatever. Penitentiary.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Penitentiary.
I didn't watch
Leon.
2 and 3.
1, 2, and 3 with Leon Isaac
Jane Kennedy.
and
There
Jane
was
Kennedy.
3 of them.
Yeah, it was
And
3.
Jane
It was
I
three.
never. Are they good? Are they worth watching?
Man, they
Man.
our movies.
I mean, you gotta watch
our
it.
movie. You gotta watch it, man.
You know, it is what it is.
They're
When I see
classics.
those classic black
They're
movies,
classics, man.
and I'm just scrolling through the guide, and I know that this is a classic black movie, I stop and watch
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
me too,
it. You
bro.
know what I'm saying? I don't care what else is going on. I'm finna watch this.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
it's a lot of
classics.
them. Watch Cooley. I watch that one over and over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anytime.
they're classics, man.
Cornbread Earl and me.
Yeah,
Yep,
man.
good one.
Look,
That's another good one.
check it out.
Jamal Wilkes.
Yeah.
I think.
Jamal Wilkes and somebody else. Cornbread.
Samuel Jackson.
Earl. Now you know who me was?
Samuel.
It was Samuel.
Fish.
Yep.
Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne.
But he was Larry Fishburne. He was a little bitty boy. Yep.
Wow. See?
They killed Cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's so crazy. We talk about the little bitty boy. They old school movie that they just redid. What was that? Coming to America. And I watched the old one, and at this age, I think I was 48, right before the new one came out. I just happened to watch the old one, and guess who's sitting in the barber chair?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes. I was like, I had to go back. I was like, man, there's a whole lot of stars in here.
In there.
And you know what's so crazy? I watched the movie hundreds of times.
I don't think I've noticed that.
Yeah, look.
In the original?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Cuba
go
Gooding
watch it.
Jr.
You're gonna notice some people. You be like,
Yeah.
Angela Bill Calloway was in there. I didn't know she was in there.
Yeah, I
the
knew she
girl
was
from
in there.
Jamie Foxx show, she was
I
in.
knew she was in
Francesca.
there.
Yeah, all of them was in.
Here's the one that's gonna really, y'all probably, you should shoot me when I tell you this one. The McDonald's scene. Had no clue that it was Samuel L. Jackson till this age because they had him looking so raggedy that I didn't realize that was Samuel L. Jackson.
Shoot his ass.
Yeah.
They did.
Samuel L. Jackson,
Whoever
man.
dressed him up, I swear.
Yeah. That was Samuel L. Jackson
That was
all day long.
Yeah, that was
All day
crazy.
long.
Yeah. So
Samuel L. Jackson was calling in, let him know that, yeah.
yeah, you ain't lying. We sorry, bro.
Yeah,
He's saying
Samuel L.
listening.
Jackson was calling in. You gotta tell him, hey, we'll catch you next time.
I'm so sorry because I'm serious. They dressed him up, man. He had that beard, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, man, that brings me to our black facts you can't take back. So, today's black fact is about Lincoln Theodore Monroe Andrew Perry. Yes, that is his name. He was born May 30th, 1902, and died November 19th, 1985.
That's my mom's birthday.
Better known by the stage name of Stephen Fetchit. He was an American comedian and film actor of Jamaican and Bahamian descent. Considered to be the first black actor to have a successful film career, his highest profile was during the 1930s in film and on stage when he played the persona of Stephen Fetchit, which was billed as the laziest man in the world. Perry parlayed the Stephen Fetchit persona into a successful film career, becoming the first black actor to earn $1 million.
Oh, nice.
He was also the first black actor to receive feature screen credits in films. Perry's film career slowed after 1935 and nearly stopped altogether in 1953, around the time black Americans began to see Stephen Fetchit persona as embarrassing and harmful, echoing the negative stereotypes. So Stephen Fetchit actually paved the way, and I've actually heard people actually say that, you know, if they see somebody cooning or acting lazy, I've literally heard people say, look at that old Stephen Fetchit ass nigga.
Yeah, they use his name as a reference.
Yeah, as a reference.
And he probably was just pushing the envelope.
But this guy here is actually the first actor, the black actor, to earn $1 million for his work. So I don't think that he gets a lot of the credit that he deserves or recognition.
One of the true pioneers.
Yeah, as a true pioneer. And the only way he's recognized is being associated with being lazy.
Or coon.
Yeah. Cool. So, you know, shout out to Stephen Fetchit. So, with that being said, man, thank y'all for the Black Friday listening up. And y'all have an awesome day. Out. This concludes another dope episode of Black Friday. Tune in tomorrow for Music Monday. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and follow my YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.